I am in the middle of the Himalayan mountain ranges, and the highest mountain peaks in the whole world are all around me. And this is only just a glimpse of the insane stuff that you can see over here. Let me take you on the 4-day journey that got me here. Okay, so this is day 1 and it's like almost 9 a.m. and we're heading out to the first stop, going with my guide for the trip, Prakash, to the bus stop. Alright, so I am in Pokhara, second most populous city in Nepal if I remember right, at an elevation of 800 meters, and there's like a gorgeous lake right next to the town. And I'm here because this is where most people come to chill or like set up bays before they all head out into all these treks, such as the Annapurna circuit or the Annapurna base camp and all these other places. I'm going on this trek called the Mardi Himal trek, which is supposed to take 3 nights and 4 days. It's supposed to be like kind of intense for as far as treks that go around here, but it's supposed to be one of the most scenic ones too if the weather allows. Okay, so that was the first bus. Now we get on another bus. We probably have to change a few buses because we're not taking private transport. Bus number 2, this is more of what we'd call a microbus in other parts in South Asia. I just got my first ever glimpses of the Himalayas. A 7,000 meter high thing called Mount Fishtail, which I always must have thought was just the clouds. Okay, since I'm stuck here, I want to take a moment to like talk about all the winter clothes and stuff that I had to get for this trek. I'm not going to go over my usual stuff like the camera gear and drone stuff because I went over that in a different video, I'll link it here. But I'll talk about the extra winter clothes that I had to buy just for this hike. So this trekking pole I actually rented out from Pokhara for like 5 or 6 days for like 50 Nepalese rupees a day. So that's just my camera bag with like a poncho inside it. There's like no other space to put it. This is like a pair of gloves that I already had, so I didn't need to buy this. This is my down jacket that I also rented out for like 150 rupees a day for the next 5 days. This is like the biggest, thickest jacket that I'll wear when it gets really cold. These are most of my other clothes. I got a pair of thermal inners and thermal outers. I got like a quick dry towel, and I got like 2 pair of woolen socks on top of the ones that I'm wearing right now. And I have like a fleece jacket, which is supposed to be worn under the down jacket. And I have these things called like gaiters, which is very interesting. Basically, like, I didn't even know what it was before I was here, but these are basically covers, like waterproof covers that you put on top of your shoes starting from like the mid of your shins, so your shoes don't get like wet or your socks don't get wet if it's raining or snowing too much. Super useful. Forgot about the hat, that's in there too. All my charging stuff. So I rented out the down jacket and the walking pole from here, but everything else, like literally everything else except for the gloves and the beanie, I bought from this really cool store in Kathmandu. Let me show you. I'd say the best place to get all your clothes for cheap, or to buy them at least, would be in Thamel, this neighborhood in Kathmandu where all the tourists and especially the backpacker travelers come and stay. I got all of my stuff from this shop right here for a very reasonable price and sort of became friends with the owner, who has a really cool story. He was working in Korea for 5 years, so he knew a lot of Bangladeshis there. And then he saved up a lot of money by sending money back home, and then he opened this store. And he's like living a happy life with his own business and everything. All right, now let us get back to Pokhara. By the way, on top of all of that, I'm also wearing my hiking shoes that I've had since Hawaii. Some knee braces, because both my knees are fucked up. Some shorts, because it's not gonna be that cold till the 2nd or 3rd day. Namaste. So for this 4-day hike, I brought 10 Snicker bars to keep me energized and give me diabetes. Okay, we're eating the very standard Nepali food called dal bhat for lunch. And this is very simple, it's very commonly eaten, but it's cheap here because we're like still on the way. Once you get to the top, to the tea houses, it's gonna get a lot more expensive. It's common to eat this with your hands, but I don't want to wash my hands right now. Apparently it's very dangerous to eat or drink tap water in Kathmandu. No one does that, not even people from Nepal. But it gets more and more safe the higher up you go in the Himalayas. So here people actually do drink tap water. Now we're taking a jeep to go high up to 600 meters to Thampus. Okay, so we're at this small village of Thampas at 1600 meters, and this is where we'll like begin the hike. And you can already see it's like super foggy compared to like Pokhara right now. Actual trek begins right here. So we're starting from here, and the goal is to go somewhere like over there lasted a solid 20 minutes before I had to take the shirt off from sweating too much. I just brought only one shirt, and if this gets wet, I don't really have anything else to wear later. Contrary to what I expected, there's like really nice stairs here. Okay, we're taking a break in this very small town because my guide and my porter needs a break. They're carrying the really heavy stuff. I'm just carrying my camera stuff, so it's not that bad. By the way, this whole trip was organized for me by this company called Himalayan 360 that's based in Kathmandu. I happened to come across them and they like set me up with basically everything here with the guide, the porter. I did the contract signing and stuff that you have to do to get some permits to be able to like hike the Himalayas. It's like very official stuff, but they handled all of that smoothly as well. So I was able to come right here and get on this hike. The turkey scared the shit out of me. I didn't know there were turkeys in Nepal. This feels a lot like the hikes in Hawaii, just colder right now. Okay, it's drizzling a little bit, but nothing too bad yet. By the way, rules for hiking, for pee-pee, go 10 meters away from the trail. And for poo-poo, go 20 meters away from the trail. Okay, we're at this viewpoint called Pitam Deorali. So apparently you can usually see Pokhara behind me that way. You can see the lake usually, but it's too foggy right now. So the good thing about these trails is that they're very, very well marked, so it's very hard to get lost. So I had something on my shoes and my socks, and as I was cleaning it with my hands and my leaves, I was like, is this mud? And it's like, no, it's buffalo poo-poos. Lots of bugs and stuff just flying around my face. I'm having to like swat them away every few seconds. I'm at this like viewpoint and I found this baby goat. It's like 4 days old, like a little baby. Okay, so we're at this gorgeous viewpoint and I think we're done ascending for the first day because it's drizzling a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, and there's like very black clouds in the distance, and the next stop would be forest camp. I'm just gonna rest at a tea house here. The rest of the family is here. Okay, so in some bad news, my drone is not working at all. This is an issue that I've sort of had before at the end of Sri Lanka, and I think I know what I have to do to fix it, but in order to fix it, I have to go back to Pokhara. So I think tomorrow we can wake up really early, like 5-6, get it solved, and then like get back here. It's gonna be a very heavy day of hiking. It's gonna be like 6-7 hours of hiking. But there's no really other way because I'm not making a video of this trek without like the ridiculous drone shots that I could get here. So this is where I'll be staying tonight. It's like very basic accommodation, nothing too fancy. And it's costing me 300 rupees, which I think is not a bad deal at all. And the food is actually like kind of expensive. It's like double of what you'd pay at a restaurant down in a city. So that's where they make most of the money, not from the accommodation, but from the food, which is kind of pricey. So bring a lot of Snickers. Amazing. Alright, so it's 7:30 p.m. and I am about to go to bed because we gotta wake up at 5:30, or no, 5:15, make that trip. So I thought 300 rupees was actually gonna get me a shared room, but looks like I'm getting this whole room and I can get as many blankets as I want. So I'll take that. So it's 5:30 a.m. and it's a lot brighter than I thought it was gonna be at this hour. By the way, it's really, really cold. Stuck. Can you help him?
Yeah.
Okay. He's running away. So this cow is stuck with like some wooden stuff around his head. It won't let us help him. He just runs away. We left at 6 a.m. this morning from the tea house, hiked down for 2.5 hours, got a bus and then minibus to get to the place. We were like fixing this drone phone connection. Took like freaking 3.5 hours to get what we wanted, but it finally seems like I'll have a functioning drone. So then we got a taxi for 2,700 rupees all the way here, and now we started the hike 15 minutes ago. And yesterday we kind of stopped at 3 p.m. because usually it's not recommended to like keep hiking after 3 p.m. because apparently if you're stuck in the dark, it's pretty dangerous. Leeches and even animals like bears and deer could like be a big problem. But today we're gonna go as far as we possibly can before sunset because it's very important if you want to finish the hike in even 5 days to make a lot of progress today. And the good thing is that we left our bags up there, so we can just walk this part without anything heavy except for my drone. So we're back where we started this morning, right when it started raining, but we still want to make it to forest camp. I think we're gonna put a raincoat on and just head out. All right, so we're heading out to the next spot, and it's like I think 5:30, and I think it's gonna be 2 hours of walking. It's definitely gonna be dark by the time we get there. So my guide just was asking me if I have music on my phone, and he said I need loud music on my phone to keep the bears away when it gets dark. Make these noises so the bears don't come for us. Okay, so that route that was supposed to take us like 2 hours ended up taking up like 50 minutes, and we made it here at 6:40 right before sunset, and the sun's going down right now. And I think we made it fast because I was fucking scared of being attacked by bears. I was definitely not stopping how tired, no matter how tired I was, and I was pretty damn tired. But anyways, we're at this tea house. We could go to forest camp from here, which is where people usually stop, which is at the same elevation that is like around 2,650 meters. They're saying it's like a solid like 1 hour walk away, and definitely don't want to do that walk in the rain and in the darkness, because I already saw some leeches on my raincoat. So today was 23 kilometers of walking and a lot of steps, and we went up a total of like 1,100 meters if I'm doing the math right, and we went down 600 meters in the middle. It's too cold to take a shower, but I changed everything basically because everything was drenched. I'm try to dry it by these beds in this room, which I think I have to myself. So if you don't like seeing blood and if you get squeamish, this might be a good time to skip this video by 1 minute. Basically, apparently when I was climbing up in the rain, there was a big leech on my raincoat, and I didn't even realize when I took it off that it had taken like a massive chunk of blood out of my neck, and I just noticed like 3 hours later there's just like a lot of dried blood on my beard. Now it hurts a little bit. How much dried blood is there? What is that thing? Delish. It's in a fucking leech. Jesus Christ. There's like a leech right in front of me, right there. All healed. I was about to go to bed and Prashant Bhai just called me outside, and I just saw something that's like freaking surreal. The sky is so clear and you can see the peaks of the Himalayas. This is not something that's even picked up on video, but I was able to use night photography to get these cool ass photos. It's 6 a.m. right now, and contrary to yesterday when it was super clear and you could see all the Himalayas, the visibility is absolute shite today. Tried to take my drone out for a flight this morning, but yeah, not much you could see once you're like 10 meters away from the ground basically. Really? Typical perfection, you know, in visual again this year. Today's breakfast is like literally identical to yesterday's breakfast. The only difference is that like everything is 50% more expensive. Even though we're like only 400 meters higher, I hear it's just gonna keep getting more and more expensive the higher you go. Okay, we're starting day 3, basically at 8 a.m. because I was a little lazy. So I just realized the only way to get your clothes dry is to keep it on top of this like fire heating thing in the tea house common area, because I try to get it dry in my room, didn't dry one bit. This video is getting a bit too big, so I'm gonna split this into 2 parts. I'll catch you guys in the next part when I get to the Himalayas viewpoints. And follow me on Instagram. We can see the first rays of golden light behind the Himalayas over there. Camera's out. Show's about to begin.